Hey, welcome to the Saturday Night Skinny. Julie Roussel here in Empowering You. Always trying to share some helpful tips, life hacks, not just skincare stuff, but things and tips that are going to help you feel beautiful and confident in your life, inside and out. So tonight is the Saturday Night Skinny, and like I said, I wanted to share with you a few tips. Tonight's tips have to deal with, do you have that oily summer skin? And I don't know about you, but my skin tends to be a little bit on the oily side. And I was always looking for ways to help cut down on the oil so that my skin, you wouldn't see these big black dots everywhere. And so that you wouldn't see like the oil pools that I had going on a few areas of my skin, especially in the T-zone. And battling, hormonal changes as we get older, I guess that also has a different effect on your skin. So tonight I wanted to share with you just a few tips to how to cut down on that oily summer skin, things that you can do in your normal makeup and skincare cleansing routine that would help you out. So first, what you want to do is remove and I'm going to be showing you here. It's easier to see than I always explain. But what I'm going to show you here is first and foremost is you want to remove all of your makeup and sunscreen before you do anything on your skin. The first thing is if you're using a makeup remover or a makeup remover wipe, I'm going to use this area since this is my most oily area right here. I don't know how well you can see, but there we go. There's some little tiny bit of makeup there because I do wear some powder and I do have sunscreen on from, Day at the Baseball Diamond. But you want to use a wipe and some sort of makeup remover to remove all that off your skin before you apply any products. Because if you're just throwing a mask or something on top of it, it's not getting to the skin and the oil factory underneath. It's just simply sitting on top of the makeup. So you want to make sure that you've removed that. Once you've done the removing, make sure you've used, like I said, some sort of makeup remover. I usually use micellar cleansing water just for the fact that it goes on very light. It doesn't require rinsing, and for me it's very easy to use because it doesn't irritate my skin. And I like it because my skin feels clean and it removes all the sweat, the products, and helps my skin feel a little bit more clean and more balanced. Okay, so next thing would be if your skin is highly oily, 1 to 2 times a week, what you can do is use an exfoliating scrub. And one of my favorites is our lovely yellow paste, and it's very citrus scented, which I love, but it's a light sugar and salt scrub. And to be honest, you don't have to rub hard with the Microderm paste here because it does go on light and it's great for scrubbing. So I'm just going to remove that real quick. I think I need a washcloth though. Washcloth works a lot better. Okay. So there we go. And when you're using a scrub like that, the Microderm paste is a very heavy exfoliator, and you can only use it, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. But what it will do is it will remove the excess skin cells that are hanging there. It'll help clear out your pores. It'll remove any extra dirt and bacteria that you missed, so that your products can then seep into your skin a little bit more deeply, as well as you'll have less clogging and less breakouts, as well as minimize your oil production. So that's something that you want. Okay, the next thing is to remove some of the oiliness on your skin. What you want to do is use an oil control or an acne wash, and depending on what you prefer. And like I said, this is my highly oily area. So what I'm doing, let's see, can you see it? Kind of, sort of, there we go. Now you can see it. But what I'm doing is placing it right on my nose area. And it is an acne and oil control wash. I call it the Purple Power, but I love it because it goes on pretty light. And, oh, there we go. Sorry about that. And it definitely cuts down on oil production for me, and that's an area that I'd like to see less oil. But you can use this type of oil control and acne wash several times or even daily if you like. Either one works pretty well. Okay, so if you're using it as a wash, you can wash it off immediately. But however, if you're looking for a little bit stronger of an oil control, you want to leave it on for, maybe 5 minutes as well as, maybe even 10 minutes. Because you can use it as a mask. If you allow it to dry, it will pull more of the oil and dirt and bacteria that's kind of getting clogged in your pores. It'll pull that out a lot sooner. So once you're finished with your mask, There we go. Just wipe it right off. And again, you can rinse with water, but I'm just using the washcloth here for showing purposes. Next on your list, and a lot of people skip this step because they think they really don't need it. And this is something that a dermatology PA explained to me, that you need to have a toner, especially the older you get or the oilier that your skin is. Basically your skin needs to have a balanced pH, and you also want to shut down the oil production and close and tighten your pores so that they're not producing as much oil. Well, that's what toner will do. So all you need to do is just put a little bit of toner on your square. And what you're going to do is just wipe the toner on there. And please make sure you choose an alcohol-free toner. Most of the times the toners that contain alcohol are very drying and very irritating and cause a lot of redness. So I tend to avoid that, and you can use a toner that is designed for more acne, for oil control to help you out. And what we'll do is, like I said, close and tighten up your pores without that burning sensation, because I don't like the burning sensation at all. Okay, so next thing in your skincare steps would be an oil-free or oil control of something very light. Something that's going to be light on your skin but not feel heavy like a mask. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, okay, well, I really don't need a moisturizer because my skin gets oily. Well, what I found out, again, from a dermatology PA, is that when your skin is really dry, it tends to ramp up your oil production more and more to make up for it. So if you put a very light moisturizer on that area, like again, something non-comedogenic, which won't clog your pores, something very light, very easy to apply. I like applying a hydration just for the fact that it feels goes on, really smooth, very light, but doesn't feel like there's anything there a little bit later. But yet I noticed that my skin has less oil. And like I said, an oil-free oil control, hydration, or moisturizer. If you happen to need a recommendation on an oil-free one, I'd be happy to pass along a few. Right, and next step would be an oil control sunscreen. And oil control sunscreen is a step you definitely need because there are many sunscreens out there and you can pull any one off the shelves, but not all of them are designed to cut down on oil. Some are not even non-comedogenic, which means they could cause your pores, they could ramp up your oil production and make your life, more interesting. But you would then, for your next step in the morning, would apply a little bit of an oil control sunscreen and moisturizer, or, just plain sunscreen. And you want to allow it to dry. And once it's dried, you can then go on with your next makeup steps. If you happen to wear any concealer or foundation, on top of it, again, make sure that it's dry. And when you've completed most of your makeup, you could also add an oil control powder, something that's a finishing powder type that would, kind of keep that oil look down and give you more of a matte, smooth finish. And I usually use our peptide powder on top of there because number one, for me, it'll just cut down on the oil. It keeps that shine away so that you see more of the glow. So you can definitely use a finishing powder. There are some other options that you can go with. And if you'd like some recommendations on those, I'd be happy to help you out. So I hope that I did see someone join in. Hey, thanks for popping in. I'm glad you could make it. But if you found any of these tips helpful for dealing with your oily summer skin, just do me a favor, leave a reaction to the side there. You're welcome to comment in there or ask questions anytime. I'm always happy to answer them. And if you happen to need recommendations on some different oil control products to kind of help get a handle on your oily skin for the summer and keep it looking softer, smoother, as well as a little bit more glowy and less oily for the summer, please feel free to reach out anytime, whether it's, again, through the group here, whether it's through text, email, or even message. And check your email because the monthly newsletter should be popping up there in the next 24 hours. So I hope that you find the information contained in there helpful. So as always, this is Julie Roussel in empowering you with the Saturday Night Skinny with tips and tricks to help your skincare regimens as well as life hacks to be helpful. So I hope that you have a fantastic day.